Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna give you guys my predictions for AAA, Verano D Escanadalo. I think that's the name of the show. I probably butchered that pretty badly, but whatever. Um, and yeah, we have a big few weeks coming up for AAA. These shows are gonna be taped. Um, it says, according to Wikipedia, that they're going to air July 25th through August 8th. So tonight's is live, and then I'm pretty sure the next few weeks will be taped. So that's pretty cool. Kind of like that AAA like has a live show every now and then because it makes it feel, authentic. And, it's nice to have it live. It's also good to have stuff live, too, because, then you're not so backlogged and behind when stuff comes out. Like, I'm pretty happy. I'll get to it later, but like Vikingo, I couldn't think of his name for a second there, but Vikingo's injury, because I remember he got hurt, I was kind of thinking like they had taped enough stuff where like they were gonna have Vikingo around for a while, but luckily, they were able to kind of not be taped so far in advance where they weren't gonna have that issue. So kind of good that AAA isn't like taped so far behind, because that's kind of the issue that LFG is having at the moment. They're pretty decent episodes, but a lot of it was taped so far in advance. A lot of the wrestlers that are there either have already been called up to NXT or have been released. So, but yeah, I'm here to talk about AAA. I almost forgot to do this video because I knew AAA was tonight, but I forgot it was these shows, and I was gonna actually get up early to do these videos, but again, I forgot because my schedule's a little bit all messed up. But yeah, let's just get right into it. Yeah, like I said, these shows are going to air throughout the next few weeks. I'm pretty sure this is going to be like the last big shows before Triple Mania. There's obviously shows afterwards, but I imagine these are going to be like where a lot of the big angles and stuff are going to happen. So, yeah, let's just kind of get right into them. Obviously, I think AAA is probably, of the WWE side of things, the best show. I really wish they had like more resources, obviously, but with the resources they have, it's really excellent. It's got great booking, great matches, and I look forward to watching it every week. But let's go through it. The only stuff, that's like announced or that has a full card is tonight's show, but some of the other shows will just kind of guess the matches of when they're going to happen. So we'll start with week one, which is tonight's show, since that has a full card. I say a full card, it's 3 matches, but again, each show's an hour. 3 matches make sense. We have the AAA World Mixed Tag Team match, World Mixed Tag Team title match. It's Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana defending against Lahedra and Laredo Kid. Lahedra and Laredo Kid won this opportunity last week when they defeated Fabi Apache and Joaquin Wilde. Lola Vice and Lahera have been kind of going back and forth for a while. They've been feuding basically since WWE bought AAA when Mr. Iguana and Lahera were the mixed tag team champions originally, but then they lost them to Ethan Page and Chelsea Green by Lola Vice inadvertently cost them the match, and then Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice started teaming up. They've done a few matches with each other. And Lola Vice has basically gotten the upper hand on Lahera every which way. And this is basically her last chance to get the titles. If I had to predict a winner, I'm going to say Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana retain. I really don't see a reason for them to lose the titles. I think they're doing pretty decent stuff as champions. And I think they should at least make it to Triple Mania. Maybe have them lose the belts there. It would be a big enough show. So I'm going to say they retain. Then we have a AAA World Cruiserweight Championship match. It's Rey Fenix defending against Mini Vikingo. Mini Vikingo won a multi-person match to get this opportunity. They've been pushing him pretty well. I assume he was supposed to face Vikingo either this show or probably Triple Mania for the Latin American title, but obviously because he got hurt, they had to swap in and probably do this match instead. But I think this match will be exciting. It'll be interesting to see what the dynamics will be, since Vikingo is pretty popular in AAA as well as Rey Fenix. This would be kind of cool because Rey Fenix doesn't really typically get to wrestle someone that's like his size. So I think this will be a cool match. I say Ray Phoenix retains. I think he's doing some good stuff with the Cruiserweight title, being the fighting champion. So I say he retains. And then we have the main event of this show, Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano versus two members of Los Perros del Mal. If I had to guess the two members, I'm going to say that's probably going to be Los Garzas, since they're like the tag team of the group. Um, I don't really see who else it could be. I think Los Garzas would make the most sense. Um, and I've enjoyed the build up for this. I've talked about this before. You know, this came after Mask versus Mask. El Grande Americano came out and did the rah rah speech, and then he got attacked by this group that like reformed in a new, and it's a new version of the group. And then, you know, they've been wreaking havoc in AAA ever since they got together. Then Dominic Mysterio's kind of been standing alongside El Grande Americano, really defending him and everything like that. He made the challenge for this tag match. And he's doing this to protect the integrity of the AAA mega title match between the El Grande Americano and Dominic Mysterio. The match isn't really announced yet, but obviously they're building like already kind of starting to build for it. If I had to predict a winner, I'm going to say that it's going to be Los Perros del Mal. If I had to make a guess, I assume Dominic Mysterio is going to turn on El Grande Americano, and he's going to be revealed as the leader of this faction. And obviously, it's going to get El Grande Americano over. It's going to get a lot of people behind him. I think it would be cool that Dom will have his own faction, since, you know, Judgment Day really isn't his faction. It's more Liv's faction, which kind of sucks because Liv, you know, isn't the greatest. But Dominic Mysterio would be cool if he could have a faction behind him. And I would like that to play over onto like the main roster and stuff. You know, maybe like well, I was gonna say he turns on Judgment Day, but the only one he could turn on is JD. Maybe get JD to be a part of this. That would be pretty cool. If and like Los Perros del Mal can be like a subgroup for the Judgment Day type of thing. Maybe it can merge with it so that way Dom can have really his own faction. But I think that reaching too much there. But you know, kind of sucks though, just because I think Dom really needs to go babyface in New Mexico, and obviously depending on whether you're in America, he gets really good reactions, and I think they feel like they should capitalize on that. But I can understand why they keep him here a little bit, and it doesn't make sense for him to be here against El Grande Americano, since he would get booed, since El Grande Americano is so beloved, so it is going to work. But yeah, that's my predictions for the end of the show. Is Dominic Mysterio is going to turn on El Grande Americano, be revealed as the leader of Los Perros del Mal. You know, because they need a leader. I think they're fine as a group, but none of the people really stand out to lead the group, and Dom would stand out. I think Dom could really take this faction to the next level. And maybe, too, you know, they will use it to turn him face. Maybe he'll lose the Mega Championship, and then the faction will actually turn on him and get a new leader. And, you know, Dom will have to, maybe they'll do a storyline in Mexico where Dom has to go up against every member of the faction. But I think for the short term, it does work to have Dom be a heel, because then in Triple Mania, when they do that show in Mexico, El Grande Americano can beat Dom and win the title. So I think all that works. That's my predictions for night one. I will repeat them since I kind of rambled there. So I predict that Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana will retain the World Mixed AAA Tag Team titles. Ray Phoenix will retain the Cruiserweight title, and Los Perros del Mal, whatever two members they face, will beat Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano. There's nothing announced for like week 2. I imagine something's going to get announced tonight. But week 3, it's pretty much determined that it's going to be a triple threat match for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. It's going to be Flamer defending against La Catalina and Lady Shanae. This was obviously set up because both the challengers have pinned Lady Flamer in recent weeks. You know, La Catalina pinned her in the 6-woman tag a few weeks ago. And then Lady Shotty did the same. She also pinned her, Lady Flamer. I think it makes sense to do this. You know, They obviously don't want to do a one-on-one match right now with Lockhart, Toledo, and Flamer. They probably want to save that for AAA. But I think this is the best way than like dragging that out, having her get a shot in a triple threat. Um, and she doesn't even have to take a pin or anything like that. So what I think is going to happen is Lady Flamer is going to retain the title. I think Lockhart, Toledo, they're going to do maybe the heel tactic where either she does all the work and then hits a finisher on Lady Shawnee, and then Lady Flamer will take advantage of that and get the pin, or Les Toxicas will help her win, and they could still do the same finish type of thing. They could just do a mixture of both. But I think Lady Flamer retains, and she pinned Lady Shawnee without having La Catalina take a pin. And that's all the only confirmed matches announced. If I had to guess other matches, I think there's we have some decent chances of that stuff. Other matches I think could happen is they've announced a tournament to crown the new AAA Latin American champion. Obviously Vikingo got hurt when he went to NXT and was doing training for that match, so he had to vacate the title because he's going to be out for a while. And then, obviously they've announced like a four-way tournament where they're going to do a bunch of four-way matches, and the winners will get into like another four-way match at Triple Mania. Dr. Wagner, well, no, it's not four ways, it's triple threats, and then they go into a four-way. But yeah, Dr. Wagner Jr.'s already advanced, but they've already announced several other matches, and it even says, according to this, that they're going to take place from July 11th, which aired on July 18th until obviously the four-way happens. So I imagine maybe 2 of the weeks of these shows they're going to do the other 2 triple threat matches. According to this, the other 3 triple threat matches left is the first one is La Polka versus Mecha Wolf versus Dragon Lee. The other one is El Fiscal versus Cruz del Toro versus Psycho Clown. And then the other one is Almas versus Damian Priest versus Galeno. I imagine week 2, we're going to have Almas versus Damian Priest versus Galeno. And then maybe week 3, we'll have La Polka versus Mecha Wolf versus Dragon Lee. Because those seem like the bigger matches than the other triple threat. Because it has like WWE talent on there and everything. So I'll predict those. I'll predict all 3 in case one of them happens on, in case the other triple threat match ends up happening. They may do both triple threat matches on one of the shows, so I'll predict all 3. But I imagine we're going to get one of these triple threat matches at Triple Mania. For La Polka, Mecha Wolf, and Dragon Lee, that one's kind of hard to call. I definitely don't think it's going to be Mecha Wolf. I think he's probably going to take the pin. It's going to be La Polka or Dragon Lee. And they're both pretty popular. Dragon Lee's got a lot of the main roster cred and everything like that, but La Polka's really over. I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I'll go on a limb and say La Polka advances. I think, he's really over in AAA. I think they should take advantage of that and have him qualify and go into this 4-way match. But they may go with Dragon Lee, which wouldn't be a bad thing either. And then the triple threat with El Fiscal, Cruz del Toro, and Psycho Clown. This one's really tough to call. It really could go either way. I'm going to go on a limb and say El Fiscal. I would say Psycho Clown, but then they've been doing a storyline recently where Psycho Circus has been getting taken out by like a mystery assailant and all that type of stuff. And I imagine that's going to play into the finish where maybe we get the mystery attacker revealed or something, or they do something with that angle, what costs Psycho Clown the match. So I'll say El Fiscal wins, because I feel like, he's been built up pretty decently. I forget if it's him or... Yeah, it's El Fiscal. But he's also been feuding with Abismo Negro, I'm pretty sure. The guy that took, his father's name. So that he could come out and cost, El Fiscal the match. But I think El Fiscal wins. Then the other triple threat is Almas, Damian Priest, and Galeno. This has been built up actually pretty decently. Almas and Galeno have been going at it a lot ever since Galeno returned to AAA. And then, Damian Priest has just shown up recently in AAA and has announced title intentions, and it seems like he's going to be sticking around. Maybe at least until like Triple Mania or something like that. I think Damian Priest wins. I don't really. I feel like I don't see why you wouldn't have him. That's a pretty big star to have in Triple Mania. That's a pretty big get. So I'm gonna say Damian Priest wins the triple threat. Maybe they'll do something where Almas and Galeno will kind of cancel each other out. And it will kind of allow Damian Priest to win. So, but yeah, those are the other triple threats. I will repeat my predictions since I kind of rambled there. I'm gonna say La Polka wins one of the triple threats. The one with Mecha Wolf and Dragon Lee. Alpha Scow will beat Cruz Del Toro and Psycho Clown, and Damian Priest will beat Almas and Galeno. So, according to that, the four-way match at AAA for the finals will be Dr. Wagner Jr., Damian Priest, Alpha Scow, and La Polka. Probably not going to happen, I think, but we'll see. I don't think anything else will get announced. Maybe they'll do a AAA World Tag Team title match on one of the shows, but that's also going to be tough to book since they've just recently said that Damian Priest and R-Truth are facing War Raiders title for title because they've been trying to set that up for a few weeks. They could still do that, though. I really hope they don't put the belts on Priest and Truth because they really need to drop the WWE tag titles, and then we're doubling up the issue if they have the AAA ones. But, Undertaker's been kind of wanting to get Truth in AAA. Maybe that could be a good thing for AAA. So, I really can't think of any other stuff that would get announced for these shows. Obviously, I think one of the weeks will get some type of promo with El Grande Americano when Dom turns on him. Because I just looked, and the match at night 2 is already announced for Mexico with Dominic Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. And obviously, this is going to be the perfect way to really intensify that match. So, yeah, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited for these matches. So I think, AAA is really going to pull out all the stops to build up to the biggest show of the year. And it's 2 nights for the first time. So I'm looking forward to it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Next Friday, or probably next Saturday, at some point, maybe Friday after SmackDown, actually, since SmackDown would have aired. I'm going to do my predictions for SummerSlam. I'm not going to do like an actual Aftershock this week since the predictions will take care of that. And then the Monday after SummerSlam, for one night only, Chris Dodd's going to make an appearance for the channel and do the Aftershock covering SummerSlam. And then, then he's going to take a little bit of he's going to go back to his break. And then, then I'll just kind of keep plugging away and doing Aftershock solo. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And I will talk to you guys later.